My name is Ian. I'm a 28-year-old doctoral candidate in computational biology. For the last 4 years, I have lived in a windowless lab, running simulations that take weeks to complete. My thesis was on a revolutionary algorithm for predicting protein folding structures, basically a way to speed up drug discovery by years. My advisor, Professor Sterling, was a charismatic man. He was the department head, a media darling, and the kind of guy who hadn't written a line of code since 1998. He spent his time at galas and board meetings, leaving the actual science to grunts like me. I trusted him. I thought he was my mentor. 2 months ago, I showed him my final results. It was a breakthrough. The model worked with 98% accuracy. "This is good, Ian," he said, barely looking up from his phone, "but it needs polish. Don't publish yet. Let me review it over the summer." I agreed. I was exhausted and needed a break. Last week, I walked into the faculty lounge and saw a poster for the National Summit on Biotech Innovation. The keynote speaker was Professor Sterling. The title of his talk? A Novel Algorithmic Approach to Protein Folding. My title, my research, my life's work. And my name wasn't on the poster. I logged into the university server. My access to the project folder had been revoked. I went to Sterling's office. He smiled that oily smile. "Ian, I was meaning to tell you. I took the liberty of refining your data. It was a bit raw. I'll be presenting it as a preliminary study from the Sterling lab. Don't worry, I'll mention you in the acknowledgements." "Acknowledgements?" I stammered. "This is my dissertation. You can't present this as your own." His face turned cold. "Careful, Ian. Who are they going to believe? A tenured professor with 3 best-selling books, or a student who hasn't even defended his thesis yet? If you make a scene, I'll make sure you never work in this field again." He had me. He had the reputation. He had the power. But he made one fatal mistake. He stole the executable file I compiled for him. He didn't check the source code, and he didn't know that my algorithm had a dead man's switch. The summit was yesterday. It was huge. Investors, pharma executives, and the press were there. The grant money on the line was $500,000. I bought a ticket. I sat in the front row. Sterling walked onto the stage. He looked confident. He spent 20 minutes using buzzwords, taking credit for the thousands of hours I spent coding. Then came the moment of truth, the live demo. "And now," Sterling announced, "I will demonstrate the model predicting a complex protein structure in real time." He opened the software on the massive projector screen. He loaded the molecule. He hit run. Here is what Sterling didn't know. The algorithm checks the system date. If the date is after June 1st, which it was June 15th, and the user is not logged in as root Ian, the visualization engine triggers a specific subroutine I call the watermark. The progress bar hit 99%. The room was silent in anticipation. Sterling was beaming. "Watch as the geometry resolves itself." Suddenly, the 3D protein structure on the screen began to unravel. It didn't fold into a protein. The molecules rearranged themselves. Bright red atoms started forming letters against the black background. Giant, rotating 3D letters. STOLEN. The crowd gasped. Sterling froze. He clicked the mouse frantically. "Just a glitch. One moment." He tried to close the window. It wouldn't close. The text changed. "Property of Ian Vance. Unauthorized access detected." Then the piece de resistance. Because Sterling had connected the laptop to the auditorium's audio system for his sound effects, the algorithm triggered an audio file I had hidden in the assets folder. It was a recording I had taken on my phone during our meeting in his office. Sterling's voice boomed through the speakers. Who are they going to believe? A tenured professor or a student who hasn't even defended his thesis yet? If you make a scene, I'll make sure you never work in this field again. The silence in the room was deafening. Then the murmurs started. Then the laughter. Sterling looked at the screen, then at the audience. He saw me in the front row. I gave him a little wave. The dean of the university was in the third row. He had his head in his hands. The representatives from the grant committee stood up and walked out. Sterling tried to stammer an excuse, but the audio loop kept playing. I took the liberty of refining your data. It was a bit raw. I'll be presenting it as a preliminary study from the Sterling lab. Don't worry, I'll mention you in the acknowledgments. It has been 24 hours. Professor Sterling has been placed on administrative leave pending investigation. The University Ethics Committee contacted me this morning. They want my original logs to prove ownership. I have them backed up on 3 different hard drives. The funny thing is, a representative from a major pharmaceutical company approached me in the parking lot after the disaster. He gave me his card. We don't care about university politics, but we like people who can code a backdoor like that. Call us when you graduate. Sterling wanted the credit. He got it. He is now the most famous thief in academia. And me? I'm just polishing my resume.